talk. Get sit here. We're going to walk time in. Pay attention and figure out what's going on. All this is in preparation for Saturday. So pay attention. Watch the TV.
All in, all in,
All in.
all in, all in.
To understand how the two words
All in.
turned a New York Giants season going nowhere into a trip to the Super Bowl, you got to go back to the night before Christmas Eve. The Giants were 7-7, and they'd lost 5 of their last 6.
I think there's some empty graves out there that people were digging for the Giants.
There was definitely something missing.
That night, at a players' chapel meeting,
We had a young guy come in and speak.
He delivered one of the most timely messages that I've had, not only in my football career, but in my life.
his name is John Paul Gonzalez, a 9th grade teacher and speaker in nearby Union City, New Jersey. He's friends with the Giants team chaplain, who asked him to speak to the team. Were you nervous?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, you go in the room and you see like Eli Manning in the front row, and then you see Justin Tuck, and you see these guys, and you're like, wow.
Gonzalez turned out not to be just a teacher of kids. He turned out to be a teacher of giants.
He kind of put everything into 2 words, all in.
He gave everyone poker chips, had everyone put their initials on the poker chip, and advised us to keep it with us. When you have something that you feel can't be beat, you know, what you do is throw it all in.
The next day, the Giants whipped the Jets 29-14.
Handoff Bradshaw. To the run right, through tackle, touchdown Giants.
Afterwards,
We was all in today. Went to chapel last night, and our speaker talked about all in. And today, you can just tell the Giants were all in.
and before you knew it, All In had worked its way all around the Giants locker room.
It's just something that became, infectious. Wanting to give more effort, wanting to stay behind and watch more film.
Ever since then, everybody, all 53 guys, 46 on game day, they're all in.
The next week, they beat the Cowboys, punching their playoff ticket.
The New York Giants are the NFC East champions.
Then the chaplain again sent me a message and said, you wouldn't believe this, but they made towels for the game.
It's not about individual, it's just everybody being 100% dedicated to the team.
Then they dismissed the Falcons at home in the first round of the playoffs, and a week later, they went into no less than Lambeau Field and shocked the 15-1 Packers.
The New York Giants have eliminated the #1 seed Green Bay Packers.
They're all in. The chip is the chip, but it's our minds, that are powerful. What's going to give you that extra edge? What's going to give you that extra push?
And that's new since you've dedicated yourself to all in.
I don't think I was giving it 100%. I might have been giving it 90%. But now I think, for the last 5 weeks, I've been definitely giving it 100%.
The 49ers in San Francisco, the NFC title game, jackpot.
The Giants in overtime have won the NFC championship.
All down, to the custodians, to the cooks that we have here within the facility. And when I say all in, I really mean they're all in.
You came up with it. Doesn't that feel great?
It does. But I know it's a lot of tribute to their hard work.
If you win this Super Bowl, what will you do with the chip?
I'll probably flame that chip, in all honesty, and make sure I keep it by me, at all times. I'll probably keep it next to my Super Bowl ring.
Do you think you'll get a ring?
I wouldn't turn one down. I'm not Justin Tuck. Let me answer one question first before I get started. I get it every place I go, so I'm going to answer from the start. I do not have a Super Bowl ring. I do not have it. But I got married just a little while ago, so I do have a ring. I do. And just so you know, it's not my fault. I haven't talked to the Giants since then, so it's not my fault for this year, all right? It's not my fault. But this whole all-in stuff, man, it's crazy. It's crazy because you saw the video. Got to speak to the Giants night before Christmas Eve, going up on the 2-year anniversary now. I thought it would have been done, but it hasn't been. But instead of me just talking about it, I want to show you. See, You all saw how All In started with the New York Giants, and it's like, I'm going to need your help. And it was crazy because after I talked to them, I'm sitting at my house about a week later. They just finished beating the Jets, sorry Jets fans. And I'm sitting there and I get this phone call. It's Fox News, and they call me up. I said, hello, like this is Fox News, I want you to come on our morning show. I said, for what? They said, well, you're the All In guy, right? Who said that? Like, well, Justin Tucker told us that. Okay. And after they call up, then this guy from Boomer and Carton in the radio, they call up and they say, hey, will you be on a radio show? I said, all right. This other guy from Mike and Mike in the radio calls us. Okay. And then before I know it, the Giants keep winning. I keep on going different places. The next day at school, after the Giants win the Super Bowl, it was crazy. Because I go into my classroom, I'm a teacher, by the way. I sit down, phone rings. They said, you need to come to the main office. Go to the main office. You're going to be in trouble. Even I'll get them in trouble. You go to the main office. CBS News anchor person standing right there. They said, oh, you Mr. Gonzalez? I said, yes. They come with us. Did an interview real quick. Go back second period. So, Mr. Gonzalez, you need to come to the main office. All right. NBC is there. Okay. Channel 5, Channel 7. Next thing I know, CNN Espanol is there. I don't know. But it's crazy because next day I go to school and I'm like, all right, who's going to be here today? You know what I mean? Like, so, nobody calls. Then I get a phone call about a week later. And it says, it's Mr. Gonzalez. I said, yeah. He said, the same Mr. Gonzalez that spoke to the New York Giants and gave them all in for the Super Bowl? I said, yeah. They said, well, we got a football team here. Why don't you talk to us? I said, who is this? I said, oh, we're the coach of the football team. I said, for real? He said, yeah, talk to us. So, within a week, Union City football decided they wanted to be, what are these two words? All in. Wow. That was kind of weak right now for a 12-0 football team. Let's try that again. Union City football team decided they wanted to be all in. Much better. All in. So I talked to them. It was fun. They had a pretty good year. Lost to Montclair 2 weeks ago, but a pretty good year. But then I think it's done. Then I get another phone call about a week later after speaking with them back in March. And they say, we're a college in the basement of the Empire State Building. I said, there's colleges in the basement of the Empire State Building? They said, yeah, we're a college in the basement of the Empire State Building. We don't have a football team, but we do have a basketball team, and the tournament's coming up. I said, no problem, I'll be there Saturday morning. Before I know it, the King's College in New York City decides they want to be, help me out, all in. All in. And it was fun, it was great. They went kind of far in the tournament, but then they lost, so I said, okay, now it's definitely done. But how many people you ever get a call on your cell phone and you don't recognize the number? How many people have had that happen to you? Don't even recognize the number. What do you normally let it do? Ignore it, go to voicemail, you know. Ain't no one got time for that, right? I didn't, so I thought it was a joke. I kept on getting these phone calls. So I'm not picking it up, ignore. Finally, at 11 o'clock at night, I'm ticked off, so I pick it up. I said, what? The person said, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gonzalez, we're sorry to bother you. We didn't account for the time difference. I said, who is this? They said, I represent an organization, and we need some inspiration. We did well last year. We need to do well this year. I said, who is this? They said, well, we'd like to keep it discreet at the moment. We'd like to fly you out to Chicago. I said, Chicago? He said, he'd fly you out to Chicago. Before I know it, you guys ever hear of a team called Dallas Mavericks? Yeah, no one says no to Mark Cuban, that's all I'm saying. They decide they want to be, what are these two words? All in. All in. Only problem is in 2012, these Mavericks had to play against a guy named Kevin Durant, the Oklahoma City Thunder, in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, and after 4 games, and they weren't all in, it was all out. But bad for business, so I think it's done. Then I get another call. Y'all ever hear of LA Clippers? What? But then they lose to the Spurs, so let's not talk about that, all right? And then it gets crazy because then corporations start calling up. First one to call is PNC Bank. And they say, we're a bank, we need your help, our branch managers need to talk, they need some inspiration. I said, no problem. Next group to call up, I didn't handle this the best, they were America Online. They called, they said, hello, this is AOL. I was like, wow, y'all are still around? No offense, I could dial up to the internet a long time, but went and talked to them, great. And then I get a call, and they said, we want to fly you on a plane down to Arkansas. No offense, I didn't think anything was in Arkansas. Little did I know, there's a corporation may have heard of it called Walmart. They're in Arkansas. And they fly me down there, and there's other people speaking, like Hugh Jackman and Tom Cruise, and I'm like, dang. They decided they wanted to be all in. But I have to say the biggest honor still has to be, how many people, I mean, you guys know about this. You know of a game called Call of Duty. You know, okay, all right, I get some game tags later, okay. It's one thing playing a video game, fellas. It's another thing to get to meet actual Army Rangers and Navy SEALs. And this past year, the Navy SEALs made a shirt by Under Armour. On the front, it says Navy SEALs. And on the back, it says all in all the time. Because honestly, who better to represent all in than our armed forces, men and women who are all in for us all around the globe. We always got to give them a round of applause for what they do. Yeah, that's it for the shirts. Not as big, not as big. I'm still okay. And see, the crazy thing is, every place I go, guys, people always tell me I'm doing the wrong thing. I go to corporations. I was just in San Antonio, and they say, man, you're wasting your time. I said, what do you mean I'm wasting my time? I'm like, you love speaking to like students. You love speaking to teens in high school. Man, you got to get into marketing. I said, what do you mean I got to get into marketing? They said, man, this all-in thing is a slogan. Nike's got a slogan, just do it. McDonald's has a slogan, I'm loving it. It's a slogan. You got to start making money off of this. Adidas took it free from you. Now they're using all-in, man. You got to get on the ball with marketing. I said, man, all-in is not a slogan. I said, what you talking about, all-in is not a slogan. It's on t-shirts. You can buy hats that say all-in. You can buy wristbands that say all-in. It's a slogan. I say it's not a slogan. It's a lifestyle. They don't really understand what I'm saying, so I said, bear with me real quick. See, there's a young lady one day, young woman, beautiful young woman. She's sitting in a doctor's office. Most of the time we're in the doctor's office, we don't want to be there. We're nervous, it's a waste of time. She's excited to go to the doctor's. She hears her name called, she runs past the nurse, into the examination room, sits down, and lays back on the table. She's that excited to go to the doctor's. Why? She's excited to see her child for the first time. She's gonna see the thing, you know, where they put the jelly on the belly and they see the little TV screen on the side. You know girls, right? She's so excited, she lays back, she sees the little body moving. She sees the heartbeat, she gets, all emotional, like, like the girls do, right? The nurse and the doctor are there, it's awesome. So the doctor steps out into the hallway, calls the nurse over. Nurse comes back in the room with a small card in her hand, hands it to the woman on the table, and walks out. On the card it says the following, it says, we did some tests the last time you were here. We found out that you contracted the measles, you got the measles. Nothing's wrong with getting the measles, you get some bumps on your body, some fever, some flu. Usually 2 weeks, it's gone. But if you get the measles while you're pregnant, it has very dangerous effects on the child. Also, the doctor can't see a certain limb of the body, he can't see an arm, and he can't see a leg. And on the bottom of the card it says the following, it says, it's in our expert opinion, you get rid of this child right now and try again later with your husband for another. The woman was crushed. She went from being so excited to depressed. So the nurse comes back in the room a couple minutes later and says, what do you want to do? We can start right away with the procedure. And this lady, she gets up off the table. She says, thank you for your expert advice. I'm committed to having this child, whether he lives for 2 more weeks or he lives for 20 years. I'm committed to having him whether he only has one arm or no arms, one leg or no legs. I'm going to stick with it. See, guys, I'm so thankful for that woman. See, that woman was my mom in 1983 when I was that kid. See, that's for me what all that means. It means when you stay committed to something, and everyone else told you it was a waste of time. It means when you stick with something, and there's a good chance you might lose or you might fail. That's what all that means to me. See, my mom made that decision. That's the only reason I'm in front of you today, because she decided to be all in for me. It's not a t-shirt for me. It's not a wristband. It's not a hat. Super Bowls are nice, but it's not even a Super Bowl. It's something that comes from inside here. I personally believe it's inside every single one of you. Because only you truly know if you're all in. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. And I'm pretty sure you guys learned that being all in is not easy. When you decide to be all in, you decide to do one of the scariest things you'll ever do in your life. See, commitment's a really scary thing. You can ask my wife, it took me about 5 years. It is. Because see, if you ever committed to something, and it doesn't go right, and you say, I quit. Well, the worst you can ever be called is a quitter. Not that big a deal. But if you ever go all in for something, totally committed, everything you have, and everyone knows it, everyone knows you put in those hours, everyone knows you're taking those laps around the town in the middle of the heat of the day, and everyone sees you, and you lose or you fail, well then what do you call? Y'all remember this from back in the day? called a loser. You're called a failure. See, I don't know about you, but in my mind, back in high school, I hated being called that. I'd rather be called a quitter than a loser. So every single time we lost a home game in high school, I always told my mom I was sick the next day. Because I don't know, maybe this school is different. But when you lose a home game, my sport was basketball. When you lose a home game, do people walk up to you the next day and say, man, thank you so much for trying. You played so hard in that game yesterday against our rival. Great job. Do people say that? No, they say something like this. At least in my school. Man, you buns, man. Oh my God, I can play better than you, right? Everyone talking in the homeroom, right? And then of course you got to get your back, right? So you guys, at least this is what I said. Well, you know, coach was just hating on my swag, right? You just hate, you know, I'm gonna transfer to, you know, St. Joe's, and then, you know, I'm gonna get mine, right? For me, it was Patterson Catholic, Don Bosco Prep. That was my thing. And it's funny, but you know, it's safe. But what if, and you guys know about this because you guys have proven it up to this point, what if you decided to go all in? What if you decide to be so committed? Well, you might be called a loser. There's a funny thing about losers when we talk about losers. See, there's this guy, he's like the world's biggest loser. He's trying to do that politician thing. So he runs for office one year and he doesn't win. Then he runs for office a couple of years later and he doesn't win again. Like, dude, you lost 2 elections, give it up. Doesn't get the hint. He runs for office again another year, loses again. Man, you're like the world's biggest loser. You lost 3 elections. Try something else with your life. He doesn't get the hint. He's going to lose an election here, an election there. World's biggest loser, right? Yeah, that's why he ended up in every single penny in the United States. Abraham Lincoln lost over 8 elections. We call him the world's biggest loser, and we probably call him one of the greatest presidents we ever had. Lights in this room. You already know there's this guy who wants to invent a better light bulb, right? Tries 10 times to invent the light bulb, fails every time. 50 different times to invent the light bulb, fails every time. Over 100 different ways he tried to invent the light bulb, he failed every single time. Newspapers come up to him and they say, Mr. Edison, you failed every single time to invent the light bulb so far. You should give up. He said, well, I didn't fail 100 different times. I just found 100 different ways not to make the light bulb. It's cool, try that with your teacher. So I didn't fail the test. I just found another way not to pass it. Trust me, it doesn't work. I'm a teacher, all right? It doesn't work. If you call Thomas Edison the world's biggest failure, you know, we probably call him one of the greatest inventors that ever walked the earth. The first thing about all of it that you guys know is it's going to be scary. It's a scary thing to be committed to something. It's a scary thing to say, no, I can't do that. I'm committed to practice the next day and I can't be out Friday night. I'm committed to our team winning. I can't do that. I can't go here. I need to stay eligible. I need to come out early. It's a scary thing. You guys know that. That's why you're here at this week. Because you're not scared anymore. You've learned something. But see, the second part about just talking about being all in. Talk is what? Talk is cheap, guys. Because we can make a Twitter post, we can delete it. We can make a Facebook status, we can delete it, put it back up again, then delete it again. We can take Instagram pictures all day long, put them up, and then delete them. It's still free to put up a Twitter post. It's still free to make an Instagram picture. Cheap talk. It really matters what you do. I never learned this more in my life than when I was invited to play in the NBA. See, a little about me. I grew up in Union City, New Jersey. That's not Union, New Jersey, where you're going to play at Kane and B. Caldwell. It's Union City, New Jersey, right outside of Jersey City. My dad was a cornerback for the Oakland Raiders, so I love football. I love football. That's all I want to be. I want to be this guy, maybe you don't know him. I want to be the next Dan Marino. That was my goal, the Miami Dolphins. Except the Latino version. And I love playing football so much, man. We didn't have a lot of room in the city, but I would find a wall, and I would put a little bit of chalk around it, and I would just throw a football at it all day till the football burst. I love it. And then we moved. We moved to a city where the football team wasn't that good, and I started taking a lot of hits. My dad said, you're not allowed to play football anymore. So I switched to basketball. I started playing organized basketball until I was 17 years old. Within 2 years, I won a national championship. And it's funny, when you win, I think Disney World is cool. Try going there and winning a gold medal around your neck. It's awesome. And after we won the national championship, we went to a place that most national champions go. We went to Denny's. And I'll never forget, sitting around Denny's, my point guard was on my left-hand side, His name is Randy Foye. He's a point guard for the Denver Nuggets right now, a shooting guard. This other guy was on this side. His name is J.J. Redick. You may have heard of him too. We had a good squad, right? We had a good squad. Man, but I scored 2, okay? I scored 2. Like, of course, come on, no, I scored 2. And I remember we sitting around the table, and they going around, and this, of course, Randy's talking about Villanova, how he's going to get to play right away, and Mike Nardi and Alan Ray, and they're talking about what they're going to do, and of course, he's talking about Duke. And they're going all the way around the table, and other guys going to Georgetown here and this here. And I'll be honest with you guys. At that point in time, I was going to Montclair State University. Nothing wrong with Montclair State, except it's Division III, and it's never been on ESPN. And so they eventually get to me, and they say, man, John, boy, you quiet. What school are you going to, man? We just won national championships. It's got to be someplace good. And I said, oh, yeah, it's MSU. Because you know MSU stands for Michigan State, you know what I'm talking about? So it would have been cool, except there's actually a dude at the end of the table who was going to Michigan State, so he blew up my spot. He's like, I didn't see you on the recruiting roster. Man. I said, I'm going to Montclair State. He said, why are you going to a waste of time school, little school? No one's heard of it. Your career is done. And I'll never forget saying this. Maybe I just said to get my back, I don't know why, but I said, man, just because I'm going to a small school doesn't mean I can't work just as hard as you guys. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Turned into 4 years later, I'm first team All-American. Scoring 30 points a game. And I get that call. Would you like to be part of the NBA workouts for the NBA draft? And I said, yes. And it was awesome. They flew us out to Indiana. I'm working out with dudes like Kevin Durant and Greg Oden and Mike Conley. And it's fun. I'm loving it. And I'm holding my own. I'm good. Like, I'm doing it. It's not just like, oh, that's that little guy we felt bad for because he was scoring 30, but get him out of here. I'm good. And I don't get drafted, get picked up as a free agent at the Clippers organization. They fly me out to LA. And I don't care dudes are from UCLA. I don't care I'm the smallest guy on the team. I said, I'm here at Baltimore. We go to a room. It's a little bit bigger than this. And on the outside of the room, it says weight room. So I'm like, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to tear it up. I mean, that year only Kevin Durant only bench pressed 185 3 times. So I was like, man, I got this. So I go in the room, and it's completely empty. And this is not the Clippers of today. This is the Clippers in 2007. We weren't that great. So I mean, I remember looking at one of my teammates. I said, man, I know the Clippers aren't good, but they can't even buy weights. So the weight room is empty. Dude comes up from behind, one of the trainers. He says, who cares how much you think you can lift if you can't lift yourself? I said, whoa, relax. Next 2 weeks, we did the hardest workouts I've ever done in my life. We did not touch a single weight. See, we come in the room, and they had this clock on the wall. We had to come in the room 3 times a day. They would start the clock, and they say, okay, push-ups 5 minutes straight. That's impossible. And when you couldn't do push-ups straight up, then you had to do them from your knees. And when you couldn't do them from your knees, and you couldn't just do them slow to melt them out, you had to do as many as you could. When you couldn't do them from your knees, then you had to do planks. And when your plank started turning into a banana because you couldn't hold it that long, then you had to do suicides back and forth. And when you couldn't run another step, then you had to do everyone's favorite wall sits. Man, 2 guys get cut from the team without ever shooting a basketball. They just hand them the plane tickets and say, have a nice day. I was like, dang. And I'll never forget going in one morning, and I'm doing push-ups, and they're yelling at me. And you know you're working hard when you can see your own reflection of sweat on the ground in front of you. You're working hard, you know that. And I came to an amazing epiphany, realization. It's John Paul, and you fat. And it sounds funny, but see, the funny thing is, up to that point in my life, every time things didn't go well, I just blamed somebody else. See, it's funny, they give you all new sneakers and all new gear when you get there. And I remember putting it on and stepping on the court the first time and looking back at my coach. I don't even know why I said this was stupid, but it was just so much inside of me. I said, oh, I don't like these shoes. They hurt my feet. I'm not going to shoot well tonight. I'll blame my shoes. And then in the games, when I wasn't scoring a lot, the coach would be like, come on, you got to pick it up. I said, oh, coach, come on, you know it's my teammates. And then my teammates later on at the house, because they gave us a house on Venice Beach just to live in, they gave us a cook, it was hooked up. He said, man, come on, you scored 30 in college, you're only scoring about 10 here, what's up? I said, oh, come on, man, you know it's the coach. I just blamed him. But see, the funny thing about doing a push-up, and I'm sure all you guys know it, there's only one thing you pushing against when you do a push-up. It's yourself. And I came to a very realization on that night that said, John Paul, if you're going to make this team, it's not the coach. It's not your teammates. It's not even your shoes. So I picked my game up. So you might be at that point. You guys are already past that point. Really realize the biggest thing keeping you from being committed is usually not your coach. Usually not your teammates. It's not your teachers. And sometimes not even your parents. Even though, trust me, I still like to blame them. It's you. You probably come to that point where you looked yourself in the mirror and said, man, if we want to have a successful season this year, I do. Not just coach, not just my teammates. They're a part of that equation. And I'm the biggest part. You might be sitting here saying, all right, John, well, you're saying all in is scary. You're saying I'm going to be tested. But where am I going to look when I'm tested? And what's the last part? Good things always come in threes. What's the last part? Last part is a story that changed my life. And the person told it to me. I'll never forget it. And I believe it's one of the reasons I am where I am today. See, there's a 9-year-old boy one day. 9 years old. No, this is not about me, by the way, either. The 9-year-old boy, he walks into his house. He's got one of them screen doors that when you walk into the house, you let it go and it slams shut. And as he walks into the house and lets the door slams. His mother's right about over here in the kitchen. She's kneeling on the ground. She hears the door slam. She quickly looks to see who it is. She quickly turns her face away. She doesn't want the little boy to see her face. Because the little boy would see the blood running down her face and the bruises on her cheek. It's too late. The little boy saw it, so he runs over, helps his mom up off the ground, and says, Mom, what happened? She says, don't worry, I'm okay. She's trying to wipe off the blood. Little boy says, no, Mom, what happened? Tell me what happened. You're bleeding. She said, don't worry about it. I'll be okay, son. I'll be all right. He said, you're not okay. Tell me what happened. You're bleeding. She said, don't worry. She goes to the bathroom, tries to put makeup on, cover up the bruises. See, the little boy knew exactly what happened. His mother didn't have to say a word. The little boy knew that the boyfriend came over again. The boyfriend, he wasn't a man. And he was abusive, and he had smacked her. And so as she's putting on makeup and stopping the blood, comes up to his mom, tugs on his mom's shirt, and says, Mom, I'm going to make sure that never happens ever again to you. She said, don't worry, I told you I'm going to be okay. Tugs on his mom's shirt and said, Mom, I said it's not happening ever again. But I need you to do something for me, Mom, please. She said, what is it, son? Anything? He said, Mom, I need you to buy me a deck of playing cards. Immediately the mom stopped what she's doing, looks at the little boy and says, don't you ever say that in my house again. If you think gambling or hustling is a way to get us out of a situation, you're wrong. I'll be ashamed of you. Don't you ever say it. He said, Mom, I'm not going to gamble. I'm not going to hustle. I just need a deck of playing cards. She said, I got to go to work. I don't got time for this. Walks out of the house. The little boy's sad, so he goes to his room. Sits down. Falls asleep. But later that night, he hears footsteps. It's his mom. She walks in the room. Stands in front of him. You guessed it. Pulled out a deck of playing cards. Said, I'll bought these for you. Don't make me regret it. Tosses it on the bed, walks out the room. He's so excited. Hops up off the bed. Takes the cards out of the deck. Puts them on the floor in front of him. Tries to shuffle them the best way he knows how. Takes the top card off the deck. Tries to do that many push-ups. The number on the card. Small, skinny guy. Gets up, shakes it out, takes the next card. Now, if it's a king, a queen, or a jack, that's all worth 10. Aces or 11. Tries to do that many push-ups. See, he can't do a whole lot. Remember, he's 9 years old, skinny little dude. But he said, I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again to my mom. And when he can't push himself up another inch after only about 3 or 4 cards, picks them up. He puts them away. Until the next night. Takes the cards out again. Shuffles them up. Tries to do one more card in the night. Said, I need to get strong. I need to get better. He tries to stick to this every single night. Some nights he can do a whole bunch of cards. He got lots of energy. Some nights not so many. He's tired from school, practice. See, by the end of high school, he can do about half a deck of cards without stopping. That's not bad. That's a lot of push-ups. By the end of college, whole deck. See, it's about 11 years later, and he has the cards in his pocket, but he doesn't pull them out. See, 11 years later, this is a special night for him. 11 years later is 1996. This night is the night of the NFL Draft. And in the second round, a team called the Baltimore Ravens selects him as their second round draft pick, Mr. Ray Lewis. Man, when he told me this story down in Florida, you know what I did? I went and bought a deck of cards. Who doesn't want to be Ray Lewis, right? He told me this story. I go and I get a deck of cards. I go back to my hotel room. I'm just like, and man, y'all ever do something that in the beginning seems like a really awesome idea, and then halfway through you're like, what am I doing? That was me, because halfway through I'm like, my arm starts shaking. I say, man, I can't even finish this card. What if this next one's a king? I can't do 10 more push-ups. So you know what? I stopped right in the middle. I quit. And next day they asked him all questions. Mr. Lewis this, Mr. Lewis that. I said, Mr. Lewis, man, I tried that workout. You Ray Lewis, you're a beast. I said, I couldn't do it though. It's too crazy. I mean, there's too many cards. He said something I'll never forget. He said, the problem is, son, you're worried about the cards that are still in the deck. You do this workout right here, you're worried about one thing alone. One card in front of your face. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. For so many times in my life, I said, man, I can't keep that up for a week. I can't keep that up for a month. I can't keep that up for a year. Forget it. Sometimes you just gotta take it one card at a time. Cool thing he said about this story is, anybody remember the number Ray Lewis used to wear on his jersey? How many cards in the deck? He said, I wear the number 52, son, because I don't want to forget those nights doing push-ups on that dirty bedroom floor. That made me into a 13-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and a defensive player of the year. And he said it all started one card at a time. You guys have taken it one game at a time. Every single weekend this year. Now you only got one card left. That's it, sad. You've been smart. You haven't cared that there's been 12 cards in the deck. You're right, you can't beat 12 teams all at once. You're taking it one card at a time. You still got one left. And at this point in time, guys, I want to take this one step further. You guys have learned something that a lot of people don't learn. I want to challenge you to do that in your personal lives as well. See, I don't know what your all-in is outside the football field. I know what it is on the football field. You guys have proven it. What's your all-in outside the football field? See, the funny thing is, when I went to the Giants that night, I never talked about football. See, I walked in and talked about what it meant to be all-in as a man. In a world where a lot of people aren't all-in. A lot of people, a lot of men are not committed. I remember talking to them and I said, guys, try to use something they would understand. I said, guys, what does it mean when you're playing poker and you push all your chips in the middle of the table? Justin Tuck was in the back. He said, oh, that means you're all in, you're ready to win. You're done playing games, you're done going halfway. I said, that's good. I said, what does it mean, Justin, if you were to push your chips in the middle of the table and pull them back and say, oh man, I was just kidding? He said, that's how you get punched in the face. I said, you're right. Why do we do that with our lives sometimes? So I took out a poker chip. I gave every single guy in the Giants in that room a poker chip. With Eli Manning in the front row, Justin Tuck in the back row, Victor Cruz on the side, it didn't matter. And I said, I want to give you a chip tonight. And I said, I'm going to give you a marker too. And if that's you and you decide you want to be all in as a man, you're done going halfway. Put your initials on one side, put your jersey number on the other, and put it someplace you're going to see it to remind you of your commitment to be a man. Justin Tuck comes up and he says, man, I'm all in for this football game. I'm hurt right now. I'm still going to play against the Jets tomorrow. But I'm going to take this chip, I'm putting it on my kitchen table because I want to be all in 5 minutes. So Victor Cruz comes up and says, I'm taking this chip, I'm going to put it next to my daughter's crib that my daughter on the way. I want to show that I'm committed to it. Antrell Roll comes up. Crazy dude. He says, I know what I'm going to do. I said, all right. Tweets me a picture 3 weeks later. He gets all in tattooed across his chest. I was like, oh, man, I didn't say that. He said, but you know what? When I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror. I want to be reminded of all in everything I do. Every place I go, I want to be reminded, am I all in today? I said, that's awesome, man, but I'm not going to get a matching one, man. That's all you right there. People all the time ask me, all right, you're the all-in guy. So what are you all in for? Right here. So even though I come from a family and I come from a city where 85% of the kids don't know who their dad is, I made a promise and said I'm not going to become that statistic. My children know who their father is. Whether it kills me, I'm all in for my family. Where's my chip? keep it in room 320 in Union City High School. Because I'm in Venice Beach in Los Angeles, California, made a decision, said if I really want to change my city, and I got nothing wrong with playing professionally, I got a lot of friends there. If I really want to change my city, it's not where kids can just watch my highlights on YouTube. It's where they can find me every single day. So I went back to my home city and became a history teacher. I do crossing guard duty in the mornings. Even though the drug dealers are on the other side of the street, I'm on this side. And I give them a choice, whether they want to be all in and go to school, take that path. It's always a choice. That's my all in. I challenge you today. It's your all in. On the field, yeah. Even off of this as well. There's going to be things this week, sacrifices you're going to have to make for this Saturday. Maybe it's going to bed an hour early. Maybe it's what you eat. Maybe it's what you pay attention to. Maybe it's what you let distract you. See, the greatest way I feel a team can ever be all in is that one day you're all together again, way after football season. It's at somebody's wedding. And some of these guys are your best men. Because they're that all in for each other. Super Bowls come and go. But will you be that all in for each other right here? God forbid when the day comes, maybe someone in this room is going to give someone else's eulogy at their funeral. That's the type of all that I'm talking about. The kind that never goes away. The kind that never dies. The kind that the season that never ends. So I brought you guys a little present today. I think these are your colors. We're all markers. If that's you, and you're saying, you know what, you're right. I'm going to be all in this week for what our team needs to do to finish the way we started, undefeated. But even more than that, don't leave this chip in the locker room. I challenge you to take it with you. Let it define the man you're going to be. One of commitment, one of strength, one that when you say something, you do it. When you stand behind something, you're there. The same way you block for your teammates is the same way you get their back in school and at school. For your family. Like I said, I don't personally know what your all in is. I know what mine is. The funny thing is, even though people keep on saying I did the wrong thing and not accepting that contract, when you're all in, you don't care what people say. Because you love what you do. And you know what makes a difference. I want to challenge you guys to be all in this Saturday, as you already have in the whole season being undefeated, under these great group of coaches that have been all in for you. But then more than this Saturday, take it with you everywhere you go. And trust me, just like Ray Lewis, I believe that's a story we're all going to be telling someday. God bless you guys. Thank you for your time.
Let's get a good herd clap here for him.
Well, yeah, come up however you want to do it. Sure.
Right, thank you again. Come on up, get your chips.